U.S. President Joe Biden plans to visit Maui next week after receiving waves of backlash for his controversial no-comment remark over the deadly wildfires. Anisa de Guzman has the details.
The painstaking search for the victims of the deadly blazes in Maui continues as thousands cope up with their own losses and hundreds more remain missing. The catastrophic wildfires left an unfathomable path of trail and destruction and nearly erased the historic port town of Lahaina from the map. More than 100 people were declared dead as search for both the living and the dead continues. After days of silence, U.S. President Joe Biden finally confirmed that he and First Lady Dr. Jill Biden will visit the Hawaiian island of Maui on Monday, August 21. Biden received waves of criticisms over a controversial remark this past weekend when a White House correspondent asked him about the rising death toll in Hawaii, to which he replied, "No comment," before heading home after spending a couple of hours at a beach in Delaware. In defense, Biden said he doesn't want to get in the way of the recovery efforts, while White House said he was getting in touch with the Federal Emergency Management Agency. The remark sparked fury among netizens, supporters, and political rivals, including former U.S. President Donald Trump. Meanwhile, the White House said the administration is taking steps to support the recovery efforts, such as the deployment of more than 500 federal personnel on the ground, and disaster loans are being made available, among others. The Biden administration earned another wave of criticisms after announcing a $700 aid for the wildfire victims, but will be sending $200 million in aid to support the war in Ukraine.
Thailand's first refined oil project, initiated by the largest oil and gas company in China, started operation earlier this week. Chatmong Konpisa Guzman reports.
Industry analysts hailed the construction of the first refined oil project in northeast Thailand, as it will not only significantly address the rising demand for refined oil products, but also improve local supply in the region. The project was constructed by China National Petroleum Corporation, or CNPC. CNPC is not only the largest oil and gas producer and supplier in China, but also one of the major oil field service provider in the world. The strategic energy project boasts of 342-kilometer long pipeline and passes through 5 provinces. It has an annual oil transmission capacity of 6 million metric tons. The initiative will greatly enhance the efficiency in delivering refined oil products in the region and better connect Thailand with neighboring countries. An analyst from strategic research provider Bloomberg NEF hailed Thailand as one of the fastest growing countries for oil demand in the Asia Pacific, with more than 3,000 barrels of oil consumed per day in 2022. รายงานจากราชบุรีนายชัดมงคลพิสมัยโกศล SMA News ประเทศไทย สวัสดีครับ
We've got a tragic story here. In just 24 hours, wildfires in Tenerife and Spain have breathed through around 4,450 acres of land. The said fire started in a nature reserve on the northeast coast of the island on Tuesday evening. Authorities say 10 helicopters and around 250 firefighters and military personnel are battling to contain the blaze in the region. However, containment efforts have been hampered by difficult terrain in the affected area, with deep ravines and heavily forested areas in Candelaria and Arafo, posing a logistical challenge for firefighters, according to Fernando Clavijo, president of the Canary Islands. Quote, "The fire is powerful and is in a complicated area," end of quote. He said this to journalists during a news conference. Thousands of people in at least 5 villages have already been evacuated as the flames continue to spread, reports say. Meanwhile, Rosa Davila, president of the Tenerife Council, called on residents and tourists to stay away from the area to prevent any incidents. She also announced that access to the mountains have been closed while speaking on a local radio station.